Hey guys, Colbert here. Welcome back to another War and Order video. Thank you, Camel Games, for sponsoring today's video on the channel. You will find a download link down below the description and comments of today's video, as well as some links that will help you out that relate to the castle, upgrading your castle, your fortress, as quickly as possible when you're first starting out the game and trying to get to castle level 30 as quickly as possible. Some players who are very diligent and very on point with everything say that they can get to this before the 1 year mark of playing the game, but that is a lot of patience and a lot of planning that me personally, I'm just gonna say I don't have all that crazy amount of time, but I still try to follow all of these tips that I will give you guys today to try and get this done as quickly as possible. As you see, I'm at level 27, but as you go higher and higher, this becomes crazily expensive to upgrade. As you see, I have the requirements needed for the buildings. I just don't have all of these resources saved up at this point to get it, but I'm slowly accumulating them. I'm slowly but surely accumulating them, and I will get there soon. I don't know, maybe a week's worth of effort, but I'll try to get there, guys, as soon as possible. So let's get this started. When you first start out the game, upgrading the castle does not involve upgrading every single one of your buildings to the required level. As you see here, it will state the only requirements here, and it's very easy to see because you will also have the growth map as you're moving forward from level 1, level 2, level 3, and so on and so forth. It will say which conditions are needed to be met. So for example, to level 5, you need the castle wall. Castle wall will be one of the examples that will be going up for the requirements, but as you're moving forward, there'll also be the training grounds, and you'll see the different ones that will pop up. It does not say though every single one of your training grounds, every single one of your tents, medic tents, that need to be at that level. Have that in mind, guys. It's not a requirement for every single one of your buildings if you've got multiple of them. So for example, your farms, your tents, your training grounds do not all have to be at that high level to get this done. So you can have one of them at the highest level that you can, and then push that up as you move forward. This will save you resources and time. And for example, with the training grounds, you can then go here to the drill grounds and upgrade your troops using resources, of course, to a higher level, because you'll have your other training grounds upgrading. You'll get those to a little bit higher levels as it becomes, easier to do that, and you will be able to get them to where you want, your troops to where you want. So this is a very solid tip, very easy tip to understand, I would say, for the beginners, and that's why this is tip number 1. For tip number 2, you need to stock up on specific resources for each upgrade, and each building requires different resources. The castle, of course, it's on its own and has huge requirements. I will show you this site that I found. There's 2 sites that I will leave down below in the comments as well, and description of the video, that will help you out. Let's have a look. This one, the first one, gives you all the requirements for your castle to get this upgraded. For example, how much food, how much wood that you need to go up there. So for example, on level 10, you need 250k, and you require the college level, the castle walls. It shows all the requirements as well as the resource requirements. So you can start stockpiling up or not using all of your resources because of a future upgrade that is coming. And this states all the requirements up to, I would say, level 30, because after that I have another link for you guys, which is the War and Order Planner. This is another site that I found very helpful for the longer time, the long-term players out there. But once you reach that point, guys, you will find these web pages yourself, and it's going to make your time so much easier. But I'll still put the links down below in case you want to have it for future reference to make your game as easy as possible in terms of planning. So these 2 websites, very useful. This website, the War and Order Wiki, gives a ton of information, especially if you're somebody who is not, against having something to read up on once you have all your fights going, your stamina is being expended and all that. You just have your game playing on the side. You want to try that out, so it gets easier for you. So what do I mean by stamina, and what do I mean by having that, spending that stamina? Obviously, guys, you want to be using up your stamina and fighting monsters all the time. That is a big part of the game that has been part of the game since it got launched. And this game is not brand new. It's a long standing game. I believe it's their 9th year of operation, maybe longer. I'm not exactly sure on the date that they have, but it is insane on how many people just neglect fighting monsters all the time. If you're somebody who's a spender, you can also have the auto battles going with fighting, which that's what I have. It's a very small amount, but you do unlock it and it makes fighting so easy. Why do you want to do that? Because when you're fighting monsters, not only do you get materials needed for upgrading your equipment, you also get some crates of resources. These does not look like a lot, but this, for example, is 90,000 resources for wood. Just like that. This is, again, 27 times 600 of stone. This is 27 times 3,000 of wood plus materials there. And it also says here daily scroll fragments collection. So this, it's not 100% drop rate. So it's not every battle. Obviously, I'll show you something here, guys. Be very careful when you're attacking so you don't get a loss. I've got a loss here. But this superior summon scroll fragment, this is what you're looking for, because once you get that, let me show you. It's going to stack up in your inventory. I've got 12. You fuse this, boom, you get a superior summon scroll. I click on this, claim now. It's only 5 gems. I do that, use, and look at how many resources I just got because of this. So 400,000 food. I got 80,000 stone, 10,000 iron, 500,000 wood plus some materials from the chest. And as you fight harder and harder monsters, of course, the quality of those scroll fragments goes up. So you won't find them, against level 1 monsters. Don't think you're gonna be spamming those with all your armies. No. You also get the superior abyss chest. You click on this, you get some azurite. You need that later on. So keep that in mind. So that's why you have to be fighting monsters all the time. This is a must do, guys. A must do. What I also would like to say, if you're somebody who's starting out, the hammers, they help out a ton. You see, I have 2 hammers here. So I have the normal hammer and I have the golden hammer. If you're somebody also who uses the monthly card, you can also schedule the upgrades here. So what does the golden hammer do? It's just another way of saying you can upgrade 2 buildings at the same time. If you're somebody who's not a spender, you can use your gems to upgrade it, but I believe it's a temporary upgrade. If you're somebody who is a spender, you can unlock it for a small amount. I can't remember the money because I did that a long time ago, but it is worth it, especially if you are kind of stuck. You're feeling kind of stuck. You want to start upgrading your different buildings. You say, okay, I'll do that, but come on. I mean, should I be spending all this time just upgrading 1 building at a time? No, I think the 2 buildings is very much worth it, especially if you're somebody who's playing the game for a while. You gotta break your free-to-play card, I will say, just to do that, and then just stop spending if that's what you want. I mean, obviously you do what you want. I do with this game what I want, and I know the value. Sometimes I see it, especially if it's the game that I'm enjoying, which is War in Order, for example. Even though it's sponsored, I do see the value in a ton of these upgrades because they just make sense. Other things, I can honestly say they don't have a value, and I've made a video in the past about that as well. So let's go on to the next one. Okay, so this is, I believe, tip number 4. You can have additional farms, and this is what I'm not doing. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm not doing this upgrade, this thing, because I don't see the value for my time to be spending in just having so many different accounts and following through and leveling them up. So this is what you do. You create farm accounts. Maybe I'll find somebody from my alliance who has a farm account at the moment. They usually just name them, whatever their name is, farm, and that's basically it. Not all of the people do it. This is for the very devoted player. So there's the farm 2, carry farm 2. You don't need to take it to an extreme level. You just take it beyond level 10, 15. You unlock more stuff like the star ruin, so you accumulate more resources. But the reality behind this, as an account that you'll have, that you can do, is basically you have this upgrading your different farms and how much your resources you're collecting so that you attack it. Okay, you attack it with your own account and you collect resources that way. But you attack it at specific times when you know you won't get attacked by anybody else to get zeroed. Okay, so you lose the resources that you're farming. What you do is you just upgrade cavalry. You do that in a way to maximize resource development. You can also have your different lord skills, which you can also have on your main account. So for example, my account, my lord skills, I have them on war, but I also have a different page for development. You can use that for just gathering more and having more stamina. But for a farm account, you just have it on development. You don't care about the war aspect. Okay, it's different things. Equipment also affects on how many resources you can be spending, you can be using. So resources also matter a ton. And the same thing goes for VIP levels. So VIP is one of these tips that I want to say. It's just, it might be scary to some people just hearing VIP. It's all about spending. No, you can get some VIP points without spending, but obviously spending is a big part of this. So VIP 7 is one of the key parts of this, because I believe this is where the March cube gets boosted up. But when you activate VIP, this is how you also get so many different upgrades, such as the march speed, free speed up, stamina recovery goes up, the wounded limit boost. So ton of different things go up because of your VIP, and you need to activate it. Doesn't matter if you're at the level, you need to have activation of that. You can add VIP points, as you see here, with the different ways of acquiring them. And the thing with the game is that it has so many events at any given time, which you need to keep a track on, that you get a lot of stuff from these events. This is again a no-brainer. If you're somebody who's interested in playing this game a long time, there's so many different events. There's the upcoming events that are coming in a couple of days, 1 day, 6 hours. You see here, ton of stuff, and each one of them gives you different rewards. And you can click on them, understand what it says for each event, and these all give you free stuff needed for playing the game. You don't need to get #1 in the ranking. That's for the big boys, okay? You don't need to do that, but you still get a ton of resources, and those are accumulated. They help you get your castle to where you want. They help you get your buildings upgraded to where you're looking to go, right? So just tie all those pieces together, and you'll understand on where you need to be going with your account, how you need to be upgrading your account. And I would say, finally, I don't want to get this like a huge video go for too long, but I want to say, if you're somebody who feels like spending a little bit, that's why this is the last tip. I don't tell anybody what to do with their money, but if you're somebody who's enjoying this game, there's a few things, especially when you're first starting out, such as, I can't see them now, but there is a growth pack, I believe, which relates to your castle level. So this is a long-term kind of pack where, as you will be getting those levels, you will be getting a ton of gems. I believe it's thousands. I'm gonna say tens of thousands of gems worth for a very low amount of money spent in the game. So if you're somebody who's a spender, those are some obvious packs that you can buy. Obviously, the hammer that I've mentioned before, but that is also acquirable through just straight up gems to use on strategic upgrades that you might find useful. But obviously, gems are not easy to get, okay? So have that in mind. Again, also being part of an alliance is crucial in getting your progression through quicker, because the alliance help that comes through when you're upgrading a building, your alliance allies will come through and click on alliance help. That helps boost up a little bit on the time you need on spending, the time you need spent on upgrades. So have that in mind. Being in an alliance helps. You don't have to go and do all the things that the alliance might require. That might take you a long time, but you still need to be in an alliance regardless of how active they want you to be. Find one that is more casual friendly if that's your thing. Find one which is more PvP heavy if that's your thing. Again, it's all up to you guys. The castle, though, is a huge part of this game. These are the upgrades that you want to be focusing on. These are the tips that I would say all players need to follow. Go about your own way, guys. Again, with the farms, this is not something that I'm doing. That's why I'm kind of on the back end of the upgrades. I'm at still level 27, very slowly moving forward. But maybe farms is something that I'll do in the future, because again, those requirements go crazy high and it does take a long time to get those. Keep it in mind, guys. Always enjoy the game in your own pace. Leave some tips and tricks for other players down in the comments below if you do have the time. Thank you all again for watching these videos. Check out the game if you're somebody who's brand new and just looking for something that you want to spend your time on that relates to castle building, army building, PvP, all that. This is the game for you guys. Link down below in the description and comments of today's video. Thanks again to Camel Games for sponsoring the channel. I'll see you guys all in the next video. See ya.